What is up with my Taurus family? How are you guys doing, man? It's time to go ahead and knock out your main monthly reading for August 2025. And months just keep clicking on by, boy. Hey, about time for Halloween. No, man, I love the holidays. Anybody else love the holidays, dude? I love them. All of them. All of them. I love the last quarter of the year, dude. Something about the last quarter of the year where there's that vibe in the air, you know? The death process, Scorpio season, where everything is wrapping up and coming to a close, right? And then we're about to go into our death phase before the starting of the next cycle. I love it. Speaking of which, I love it when that happens right there. Death card. All right. Anyway, I don't want to get babbling too much. If any of you need to find out how to schedule a personal reading, you can visit my website, tarotwithrich.com. You can find that link in the description of this video. Also, for those of you still catching this in the month of July, this week, the last week of July is going to be the last week that my course on the Beginner's Guide to Manifestation is going to be available. So, August 1st, that course is going bye-bye, and I do not know when it'll be back available again. So, everything you need to know is in the description, all right? Okie dokie, let's see. What did I do? What did I start the Aries video with? Oh, yeah, singles and your love interests. Let's see what's happening with the single Tauruses and the person that you're interested in. Anything happening in August? Anything good happening? Anything bad happening? Anything happening at all? Single Tauruses and their love interest. What's happening in August, universe? Five of Cups reverse. That's a weird card to jump out first thing. Page of Cups. Okay. A love offer is being made. Well, there we go. Right on, right on. Uh-oh. King of Cups reverse, though. Well, we got the Empress, though. Empress always comes out when I read for Taurus. 99.9% of the time. Could be a fellow Taurus for some of you. But I am thinking that there is potential for long-term commitment here. King of Cups reverse kind of bothers me a little bit, though. So this person may be a little bit emotionally withdrawn, emotionally closed off. We got King of Wands in the upright. Maybe, see, the first spread, when I start a new reading, the first spread is just the overview from your perspective. So maybe you're kind of going back and forth, justice reversed. You can't really tell whether or not this person is just not interested in just playing games or if they're really serious, and maybe that's just how they are. Can't really decide. I think you're a little bit confused. And you know what I say about confusion. Don't get me started on that tonight. Don't get me started on that tonight. Looks like good communication, though. Good communication and a good, solid psychological connection happening between the two of you. It doesn't look like much of an emotional connection, though. If anything, you know what it looks like to me? When you have the Knight of Cups, Page of Cups in the upright, and the King of Cups reversed, that's emotional immaturity. See? Because the maturity level goes like this. Goes the Page, which is very childish, the Knight, which is very adolescent, and then the King, which is fully mature. The King is reversed, the Page and the Knight were in the upright. So now for the moment of truth. Let's see their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. Taurus's love interest. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Let's see. We shall see, said the blind man to his deaf son. 3 shuffles. Here's one. 2, and 3. Ace of coins reversed, 2 of coins reversed, tower reversed, all these coins. Damn it, man. Every time, dude. Every time. When I say every time, same thing just came up in the Aries reading. Anytime I read a new connection or potential new connection, what comes up? The past. Every time. Every time. Seven of Cups, 7 of Swords. Looks to me like they want to shop around, keep their options open. They're not making a solid decision to commit to anyone just yet. Not yet. They do feel an abnormally strong connection with you, though. And that's because y'all have a soul contract. But when you commit to something, and I mean commit, that's on a different level. And honestly, in today's day and age, it seems like most people just don't know how to do that. Committed means I'm fucking committed. That doesn't mean that you have no boundaries, but you would have to seriously fuck things up to be a deal breaker. You know? You'd have to seriously fuck things up. Badly. Other than that, I'm committed to this. I'm your partner. I'm with you through thick and thin. All I ask for is honesty and loyalty. That's it. That's it. Honesty and loyalty. Honesty and loyalty. As long as you're honest and loyal, I'm by your side. Through thick and thin. Right? Committing. Through the hard shit. Through the struggles. Through the challenges. I'm by your side. They're not making that decision. They're still carrying past vibrational baggage from the past. That is like the most common energy that I see in new connections coming together. Somebody got that energy. Somebody. From what I see, just doing what I do for a living, the likelihood that one person is walking in that energy when two people come together, I would say it's probably about 95%. The likelihood that both people are walking that energy, probably about 75%. I see that come through all the fucking time. Okay, let's just go straight to the advice. I don't need a tarot card to tell you what the outcome of that will be. Don't need a tarot card to tell you that. There's no foundation being laid in that. You're building a house on fucking beach sand. Okay? Building a house on beach sand. It's not a matter of if, it's when. It's eventually going to come crashing down. You might be lucky. You might be one of the lucky ones who builds it on a beach that doesn't get very many storms. Maybe. But it's coming. Eventually, a storm is coming. Eventually, a hurricane's coming. Eventually, a high tide is coming. It's just a matter of time. And then when that comes, there's no foundation. Let's get the advice. What is the advice? You better put that foot down, stand on business, and keep your priorities in order. Don't reward inconsistent behavior. Stand on business. And the thing is, when it comes to relationships, it's not rocket science. Okay? It's not even fucking skateboard science. It's simple. Honesty, loyalty, and commitment. That is not complicated at all. At all, at all, at all. If somebody's inconsistent, flaky, shady, confusing, hot and cold, on and off, in and out, acting one way one day, another way another day. You know, I heard somebody word it. I love the way, I don't remember who said this. For the life of me, I don't remember who I heard this from, but I heard somebody say there's no such thing as mixed signals. There's no such thing. If somebody is sending you mixed signals, they're actually sending you a very clear signal. And that signal is you're not a priority. I was like, bro, 100%. Let's go. 100%. When you're a fucking priority, if you feel the need to question that, you're the one with the problem. And hey, that's possible too. You see that sometimes too. Every now and then, you'll see a connection where one person has nothing but the best intentions, and they're doing everything they can to try to show that person, but the other person's just so broken and so traumatized and so unhealed and so fucked up. They view the world and everyone around them through that broken lens, and they are incapable of picking up what that person's putting down. That happens sometimes. I'm not going to say it don't. But 99.9 times out of 10, when you're somebody's top motherfucking priority, you ain't going to have to question that. You ain't going to have to question that. So, stand on business, all right? Okie dokie. Well, let's see what's due to come in next for the singles. What is due to come in next? For the singles. Boom, boom. What's due to come in next, dude? What's coming in next for the single Tauruses? Oh, that's weird. 4 cups. So I do think that there is an offer or an opportunity around you that you're either unaware of or just not interested in. Let's get 4 shuffles for the 4 cups. There's 1, 2, 2 more. Whoops. 4 of Pentacles. Okay, honestly, yeah, this feels like somebody trying to make their way in that you have no interest in. Remember, the first spread of the main reading is a general energetic overview from your perspective. So it could be complete and total bullshit. Like, you may not even know what the hell you're talking about. You may just be tripping. I don't know yet. This is just the overview. But allegedly, this feels like somebody that you're not really interested in. Either A, you're just not really all that attracted to them, or B, you do not trust them. And I think for the majority of you, it's the latter, because we got the devil. Devil card, King of Swords. So I think a lot of you just really do not fucking trust this person. You may think that all they wanting is a sex-based connection. King of Cups reversed, playing emotional games with you. You know, trying to get you locked down into some kind of codependency, sex-based connection. And I feel like you're just gonna turn this opportunity down and move on from this and kind of lay low for a little bit. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. See, you don't want to, I was telling Aries this too. You don't want to enter into a connection on a lack vibration. Most connections that are newly formed are formed on some sort of lack or need vibration. Need is a lack vibration, right? Like, I need someone to talk to. I need someone to keep me company. I need someone to meet my emotional needs. Need. That's a lack vibration. When you're on a vibration of lack, neediness, or desperation, you're 10 times more likely to overlook red flags, to make excuses for toxic behavior, to, just make excuses for toxicity, period, and overlook it if you feel like you need something, right? But when you stand on business and you don't need anyone, you're going to be real picky about the energy that you let come into your life. Real picky. Because what's worse? Being by yourself or being locked down with a toxic person? What's worse? What's the lesser of the two evils? Well, that's not two evils. That's only one evil. But of the two scenarios that we wouldn't prefer either one of them, if you had to choose one, locked down with a toxic person or just be by yourself? I would say that if you would prefer the toxic person, you got some shit you need to work on in here. But, yeah. Could be a Virgo for some of you. Also have Cancer. Another Cancer card here. All right. Well, I got Capricorn too. Okay. And of course, what always comes through when I read for Taurus? The Empress. All right. So, let's see here. We got, I don't know how to say your name. Tucano? I hope I said that right. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Let's see what their true feelings, energies, and intentions are. Maybe you just tripping. I don't know yet. We'll find out. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Next person coming in for Taurus. This deck's being a butthead. How about this one? World card. Two more shuffles. Two more. Fool card. Well. Okay. So, I think you're on the right track. You're on the right track. I do think that this person is an emotionally immature, emotional manipulator. Okay. And I do think that they are afraid of commitment. But this is one of those types of things, and this is a hell of a fucking emotional conundrum to find yourself in, where you want to settle down and find your person, but you're afraid of commitment and you're afraid of letting someone in at that level. I'm ready to settle down with a life partner, but I'm too afraid to let you in all the way. So I want to let you in and keep you out, if that makes sense. I'm going to let you into my life, but keep you out of my heart for now. Because I'm too afraid to let anybody get close to this. So if you could just step into my life, but you got to stay outside the doors of my heart, right? Just so I'm not alone, just so I'm not by myself. Because if you get too close to this, you might do what the last person did. I don't want to be alone, but I'm afraid of getting too close to somebody at the same time. But I could see where you would come to that conclusion. Because, see, your intuition is picking up on something that's seriously off about this person. Here's the thing about our intuition, though. The ego has a hard time deciphering what the intuition is saying a lot of times. The ego is nothing but a record of past experiences. So when the ego is trying to figure out how to keep you safe, moving forward, the only thing it has to go on is things it's learned in the past. So when you feel that energy, the first thing your ego is going to do is it's going to go back to the past, and it's going to grab information from the last time you felt energy that was close to that, right? And it's going to say, nope, you're doing what the last person did, which it's reasonable. That's not an unreasonable conclusion to jump to. At the end of the day, though, does it really fucking matter? Not really. Not really. Doesn't really matter what is off exactly, because either way, it ain't gonna fucking work. It ain't gonna work anyway, so it don't matter, Okay, let's see if you need any advice. Does Taurus need any advice? Does Taurus need any advice? Does Taurus need any advice? No. That's the same card that came out in the very first spread. Just try to keep it as peaceful as possible, Try to keep it as peaceful as possible. Try to, if it feels off for any reason, don't drive yourself nuts trying to figure out why it's off. Again, doesn't matter why it feels off. If it feels off, it's not going to work. Do the best you can to be as polite as possible. Leave social cues. Every now and then you get some idiots that don't know how to read social cues. And they're persistent. And they're pushy. Well, put that damn foot down then. Put that damn foot down. Nah, bro. I'm good. I'm straight on that. No, I'm good. Sorry. So I don't really think you need a whole lot of advice, because this is what it says you're doing anyways in the first spread. I think you got this under control, yo. All right, let's shift gears again. Let's see what's happening with the good old past person. The person you dealt with in the past, your ex. The person you have a past history with. Anything happening in August, man. Anything happening in August between Taurus and the past person. Ooh, 9 of Pentacles. That's the same goddamn message Aries got. That's the exact same goddamn message. Let me pull another spread. I didn't use this deck, but that's weird. That's like almost all of the same cards that came out in the Aries reading. Let me pull one more spread. Let me clarify that before I say anything. Let me clarify it before I say anything. 2 of Pentacles. Okay. I like that a little bit better. Oh, Emperor. Okay. That's an Aries card, by the way. Ace of Swords reversed. Okay. All right, we dug a little bit deeper. Well, still kind of similar. I think this person is contemplating, weighing out the pros and cons behind whether or not it would be a good idea to approach you, or whether or not they could successfully manipulate you with a pity party. But I think you intimidate them just a little bit. They've been waiting to hear from you, is what they've been doing. And the more time that passes, the more they're starting to wonder, starting to plan in their mind how they could throw a pity party, enough to soften you up and get you to let your guard down. But I don't think they're doing it. Especially those of you who have been on and off with this person. I know that's not all of you. But if you have been on and off with this person, I think they're kind of starting to realize that you ain't playing their game no more like you used to. It may have worked on you once or twice, but it's probably not going to work this time. So, yeah, I don't really think they know exactly how to approach you or what to say to you. I think they're planning it, though. They're planning what they would say if you showed up in their inbox. All right, let's see their deepest intentions. What are their deepest feelings and intentions, universe? What are their deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Three of Pentacles. Five of Wands, reverse. Page of Swords. Okay. Man, you know what? I hate it when this message comes through, because I always have a hard time explaining it, and every time I'm done explaining this, I'm always kind of digging at myself because I don't feel like I explained it well enough. But I think the idea of you being able to just completely release this and move on from it scares the shit out of them. Not because they want to be with you, but because that would shatter their self-esteem. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there who love the feeling of somebody wanting them that they don't want. They love the feeling of somebody chasing after them and them being able to turn them down. Oh no, you're not good enough for me. Oh, you want me and you can't have me. Of course you want me. Who wouldn't want me? You know? And that's just the stupidest fucking shit you ever heard in your life. But that's the energy though, dude. That's the energy. They're not trying to settle down. If you could move on from me and just release and let this go, well, I guess my existence must not be very impactful. I guess I must not make very much of a difference in people's lives if you can just easily discard me and move on from me. So I want to make sure I still have energetic hooks in you, just to make me feel better about myself. I could sleep at night knowing that you want me. I ain't trying to be with you. I just want you to want me. Does that make sense? I hate when that message comes through. That is the stupidest fucking shit. I feel secondhand embarrassment just saying that because it sounds so ridiculous and fucking childish, but it's a thing. It is a thing, trust me. All right. Let's get some advice here. How much time we got? Okay. How much? What's the advice for Taurus? Okay, well, if you're not careful, see, this almost feels like one of those types of things where ultimately, yes, the end goal is to clear karma and cut energetic ties. That's the goal. But sometimes you're better off leaving the karmic tie as it is than attempting to close it with that person. Because if you attempt to close it with that person, you really seriously run the risk of getting sucked back in, repeating a past cycle, and just creating more karma. Not only are you creating more karma, but you're lowering your vibration. You're putting more weight on your own frequency, right? You're putting more energetic weight on your back to carry through this lifetime. It's going to slow things down. It's going to slow down your energetic pathway. It's going to make your pathway rougher, rockier. It's going to make mountains harder to climb, right? So sometimes you have to say, well, what's the best thing to do here? Yes, there's a karmic tie. Yes, there's an energetic connection. But if I try to clear that with you, or if I try to even come near you, the likelihood that it's just going to get worse is very high. So what's the lesser of the two evils? I think I'll leave the karmic tie as it is. You know that you do not have to communicate to someone to clear karma and find closure. Matter of fact, nobody can give you closure anyways, right? Even if the two of you do have an amicable closure conversation, you're still the one that gives yourself closure at the end of it. Have you ever tried to give someone closure and they reject it? You ever done that? Well, that should prove to you that you can't give anybody closure. If you give someone closure, they still have to give it to themselves in order to find closure. So you don't need to talk to the fucking person anyways. Yes, ideally, talking to them, that can speed the process up and make it quicker and faster and easier. But, hey, if that person's a ticking time bomb, you might want to ask yourself, what do I value more? My pathway moving forward? Do I want to think long-term in the big picture? Or just give in to my emotions and play the what-if game and take a chance on making things worse now? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Taurus family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.